Hello, this is Tayoshining, and thank you for tuning in once again to my channel. Today I will be talking to you about a story from the Bible. It's the story of Esther and how she became a queen. The story can be found in the book of Esther from the Bible, and you can read the book from the beginning to the end. Now my story goes this way. Once upon a time, Xerxes was a king who ruled over 127 kingdoms in his time. The king had lost his wife. He was very unhappy. He was a rich king, very wealthy, and he lived in his royal palace in the city of Susa. King Xerxes wanted to find a woman who he would marry. The king's noble and wise men told him, "Let us go into every province of the kingdom and search for a beautiful woman for the king. We should announce the king's plan to the whole kingdom and appoint governors to bring all the beautiful young maidens to the temple at the Susa palace. Let beauty treatment be given to all the women, and the young woman who pleases the king most should be the queen." Well, the king agreed with his noble wise men, and they announced the plan to the city, to the whole village, to the whole kingdom. In the city of Susa, there was a girl named Esther. Esther lived with her older cousin, Mordecai, in the city of Susa. Mordecai worked at the Susa palace. He took care of Esther as his own daughter because Esther's father and mother had died. Mordecai and her younger cousin Esther were immigrants from Jerusalem. They were Jews. Esther was beautiful and was brought to the women's residence at the king's palace. Everybody liked Esther. The king's special attendant, Hegai, was in charge of the women's residence at the palace. Hegai gave Esther everything she needed to make her look clean and even more beautiful. He said to Esther, "Here, I will give you 7 attendants with food, ointment, lots of perfume and cosmetic. You and all your attendants can also stay at the best place in the palace." Esther was favored at the king's palace, and she enjoyed all the best treatment fit for a princess for the next 10 years of her stay in the residence. For the next 10 months actually. Not 10 years, 10 months. But the king's attendant, Hegai, did not know that Esther was a Jew and Mordecai's cousin. One day, it was time for Esther to go to the king. The king's attendant, Hegai, came to her and said, "I will go for the pink, I think you should wear the pink dress. It makes you look your best. Also put on the Indian jewelry that I gave you yesterday and take these perfumes with you to the king." Esther did as the king's attendant had told her. When the king met Esther at the royal palace, he liked her more than any of the other beautiful women. So he put a royal crown on her head, and Esther became his queen. Then Xerxes had a very big wedding party for all his noble, wise men, and the palace officials. Queen Esther's cousin Mordecai was also invited. The king and the queen reigned happily together in the kingdom. But Queen Esther did not forget her cousin. she will still listen to Mordecai's instruction as she used to do before she became the queen. She knew her cousin very well and trusted him. Time went on. Mordecai and Esther saved the king's life from some of his wicked attendants who planned to get rid of him. The king was happy and thankful for Mordecai and Queen Esther, but he did not know they were cousins. However, it happened that the king also saved Queen Esther, a cousin, and the rest of the Jewish people when Haman, the king's personal advisor, tried to destroy them and the other Jewish people. The Jewish people were afraid of Haman because he was planning to destroy all of the people, including Mordecai. But Mordecai wasn't afraid of Haman. Instead, he asked Esther to inform the king and beg the king for mercy to spare the lives of the Jews. Esther was afraid at first to do what Mordecai instructed. But Mordecai said to Esther, "Who knows, maybe this was why you became queen in the royal palace for such a time as this." So Esther announced that all the Jews in the region should find time to pray. Then she braced up to report Haman's evil plot to the king and to ask the king to help save her people. The king was angry with Haman. "Let Haman be hanged on the pole," he said. He had set up for Mordecai, he said. So Haman was taken away at the king's command. Queen Esther, Mordecai, and the Jews that Haman had wanted to destroy were all saved. So King Xerxes promoted Mordecai so that he was very powerful in the whole region and only was the second in rank to the king. He also gave Esther the estate of Haman. Every Jew in all the provinces, cities, and regions were very happy. They will never forget the day that Queen Esther and King Xerxes saved the people from the hand of Haman. So this brings me to the end of my story. Hope you have a good evening, and please do like and share and make your comments, and hope to see you next time. Thank you so much for listening. God bless you.